Yep, I'm back with another one. You've seen my trailer on Instagram, and yes, this is the relationship that changed me forever. Kema story. And yes, you can tell by the title, this is part one. Reason being because you guys have a short attention span, and I don't want to have to sit here for a whole hour and go through everything. So I broke it down in two parts. Part one, all right? So, as y'all can tell by the title, me being changed forever, not in a bad way. At first, I was like, super upset and demonized woman for one woman's fuck up. But it was my fault because I knew better. I should have not, stayed that long, but I did. So here we go. This relationship blindsided me big time, because I didn't think this would have happened because you know how you're in a relationship and everything is going on smooth, you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and then boom, all of a sudden things change for the worse. So my previous relationships I understood what heartbreak was. However, this one I didn't know what it meant to get blindsided because I didn't expect it. Like me and her would chill, and then people would be like, "Oh, you and Kima are like couple goals," and then all of a sudden it's like, "Damn, what happened?" That's what everybody would say. But whatever, I'm gonna break it down how I met her. Right. So I had my own apartment back then in 2020. Yes, this is during COVID. An old friend of mine, we not friends no more. He had made a group chat off Facebook. He basically said, "Oh, if y'all want to like join this group chat on iMessage, and then we just mix and mingle and talk." So he set it up, and a whole bunch of people joined it at first until we narrowed it down to about like it was I think three, four. It was four guys and like 4 or 5 girls. Well, no, I'm lying, like 6 girls. So we had like 10 people in that whole group chat. But Kima wasn't in there at first, but I'll explain why she wasn't. So from this video that you guys gonna see right now, that's me with her shades on. I know I look doofy as fuck. I look a lot skinnier then, and I had hair back then. That's her and then her friend Damo. I don't know if they're friends no more, but she looked like a fucking gorilla. Mean, but I don't care. She's big and disgusting looking. Didn't go for her, clearly not, because she's not attractive. So yeah, in this group chat, everybody's cool, everybody's vibing, and Damo had a friend, and she said, "Yo, I'm gonna add her to the group chat," which she did, and she posted a picture in the group chat, and everybody was on it. Not me so much. I kind of fell back. I wasn't really like fiending. You know what I'm saying? I was chilling because I was just like, which one I'm gonna go for? It was other girls. I forgot the names. I know one name was Mia. Um, Damo, the gorilla you see. Kima's her real name, but we call her Kema for short. Um, yeah, so that's how it went. And I would say every day from when we made that group chat, literally maybe a week after, I invited them over for game night, and trust me, they was in my apartment, all fucking day, every day, like turning up as we were just chilling, vibe, right? So let me skip a little ahead, right? So fast forward maybe a month. Um, we're basically in a relationship, and we're like glued to the hip, me and Kimo. Interesting story. I didn't really ask her to be my girl, but she kind of posed the question like, "What are we?" After I made her do some numerology things. So she said, "Are we in a relationship?" I said, "Are we?" She said, "I guess." And I said, "Fuck it, you my girl." So it's kind of just like some junior high school, elementary type of fucking boyfriend girlfriend type of vibe. Didn't care. All right. Yes, we were smashing at that time, so I didn't really mind. Remember, I told you vetting is very important. I didn't vet. I didn't give a fuck at that time. Yeah, and we were like a match made in heaven. So we gonna go through a little bit of the videos. This me and her, when we went to, you could say like a double date vacation type shit in AC. Yes, I was throwing money on her butt while she was twerking. Um, this was a restaurant we had went to, and she's shaking her titties. Um, This is us in the vehicle jamming to a song. Um, yeah, so this is us on the beach. This is her sitting on my lap with money. So yeah. Side note: when I'm looking back at all of these, I'm like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with you, Zach? Like, I literally posted this girl every other day. If not every day, it was every other day. And I always say this: if you want your girl to leave you fast, just put her on a pedestal, bro. Treat her like a celebrity. She gonna treat you like a fan. I'm not talking about like a good fan, like, oh, you supported me so much, come backstage. She gonna treat you like, ew, get away from me, type shit. So, yeah, I posted her every other day, like consistently, as y'all can see. But I can't lie, I enjoyed it. They do say love is blind, and shit, I didn't see what was coming next. So just to break things, a couple things down, I had my own apartment, like I said before, working in the hospital at the time. So I was an essential worker, and the rest of everybody else was getting like the COVID pay, like they'll get the unemployment plus like an extra $600. So everybody was making at least anywhere from $700 to $1,100 a week, while I had to go to work, unfortunately, right? So everything was smooth sailing until she told me. She said she has an insecurity about her body. So I told her, babe, you look fine the way you are, like any real nigga would. Of course. Why wouldn't I tell her that? I'm attracted to you. Duh. So I told her body looks fine. And she was like, okay. And I said, you know, what's the problem? What you don't like about your body? Because you got some nice titties and you got a nice little butt on you. She said she don't like her ass. I said, okay, let's work out then. And guess what? We did work out. And we did work out for maybe a month.
I'm out here.
And guess what?
Steak.
She didn't stay consistent. She still wanted to get her body done. So now a lot of people might not see that as a red flag. Well, I would say women might not see that as a red flag. But for guys, yes. If your girl has an insecurity and you could help her, you know, cope with it or fix the insecurity, yes, you should try to help her with that, right? However, getting your body done, listen, your body, your choice, right? But at the same time, why? Why do you want a fatter ass? Is it just for you? But who tells you that your ass is flat? Not women. Probably a nigga said, yo, damn, you got a white girl butt, you know? So she probably said, nah, I need to get my shit fatter. Or maybe, this is my assumption, a previous relationship before me, dudes probably cheated on her with women with fatter asses. And she probably found out, like, damn, if I want my man to stay, I gotta get up a donkey booty. So keep that in mind. She wants attention from other men. So I told her, listen, babe, I'm not paying for this shit. It's, getting a BBL is a little pricey. You know what I'm saying? It'd be different if, she had my children and we were married and, I don't mind getting her a little mommy makeover. I don't mind doing that. However, we're just dating. We're not even in too deep yet. Maybe 3 months in, maybe 4 months. And you're talking about you want to get a BBL? Yeah, nah. But hey, to each their own, right? So keep that in mind. I told her I would help her with the healing process, but I ain't paying everything, right? Now, about 4 months into dating, she did what no other woman did. She planned my birthday out very well. She did a birthday dinner, and she bought me the sneakers that I like. It's the Guava 4s. Y'all can go search it up. I'll probably put it in this video. Don't worry about it. Yeah, and they were pretty pricey because they were rare. She spent $800, and yes, they were real. She got a connect. She knew a sneaker guy. Got them for 800, size 12. They were a little tight, but I made them work. Love them sneakers. So yeah, I appreciate her doing that for me. But how my birthday went, it felt amazing. It felt amazing then, because we went out. She invited my two sisters, my friends, and We out here. Real nigga birthday. Hey, stink. She's stupid. She should have wore a jacket. Now she's cold. Yes, stupid.
That's just hilarious.
Anybody else out here? Gang with me. We just had a wonderful time. As y'all can see how we look very happy. And after that, the dinner, she asked what I wanted to do, and I said, "Yo, we out to the strip club." My brother-in-law, he said he knew a strip club to go to, and we went there. As you can see, we turned up there, and I enjoyed my time with her, and I just felt like the biggest connection in the world with her. For those who ever been in a relationship and y'all just feel like, everything is going smooth and y'all rocking together, it just a euphoric feeling, a feeling you can't explain until you experience it, right? A whole bunch of dopamine flowing through my veins and my scalati, I would say, right? So, side note, I'm not noticing these red flags clearly. Like I said before, love is blind, and sometimes love is deaf because you don't want to hear negative shit. But at that time, my birthday dinner, she was texting another dude in the spot we were at. I remember when she told me, "Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom," and she was gone for a hot minute. But yeah, the crazy part is me and that dude are cool today. He knows who he is. But we didn't know about each other then. I guess he knew about me, but I didn't know about him. It's some old dude she used to fuck with in the past. But me and him are cool today, which is crazy. That's why I said don't fight over pussy. Don't do it. You could be cool with the nigga, you just never know, right? So now the time is fast approaching after my birthday, right? Around this time, I started to struggle financially, like after my birthday. It's sometimes hard for men to admit this personally. You'll struggle financially, and you'll feel like a piece of shit because deep down it's like your role as a man is to protect and provide, and then you can't do the other compared to one. It's just like, yeah, what are you there for? You know what I'm saying? So a woman might look at you like you're worthless, you're not doing shit. But I let her know, like, hey, listen, babe, because in the hospital I was getting paid every 2 weeks. So mind you, I was paying child support at the time too. Like they was taking it out of my check, and I get paid bi-weekly. So yeah, I was just being cooked every week. Well, every 2 weeks, I would say. But I did have clientele on the side, but then it slowed down because of COVID, and we couldn't go to the gym. So yeah, I was just in a rut when COVID hit. Some people did better than others. The scammers, the PPP loan niggas, they was caking. Not me, however. But I admit, she did hold it down sometimes. Like her little money she would get here and there, she'll hold it down, right? My message to men: make sure you have a safety net. Make sure you have some emergency funds saved up. I know it's easier said than done, especially the economy we live in now, but save something. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's like $100, and depending on how much you make a week, set aside, some money. Sacrifice a little bit of fun to make sure you have some emergency fund. Okay? That's my idea. Another thing that happened transparent in a relationship where it made it even worse for me was I was acting like a bitch. I can admit that 100%. I was acting like a little bitch. As far as the financial part was one, but then I started getting too emotional. Yeah. I was afraid to do knee surgery because I have messed up knees, I would say. I have patella tendonitis. Those who don't know, it's just inflammation in the patella tendon. Bone spurts grew, and it's causing inflammation, so it's hard for me to like move around and exercise and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just a big bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I did panic because I am terrified of anesthesia. I don't know why. I'm not afraid to like go to sleep, but I'm afraid to like not fully be asleep and then them operating on me and I feel everything and I can't move. I don't know. I psyched myself out. Bad idea to do, but hey. So I would get overly emotional and I would like try to tell her certain things because then from stressing out about that, this is the bad part. From stressing about that, I end up getting insomnia. Like I stressed myself out so bad that I couldn't sleep, which was so weird. And then it's like I had chronic insomnia for like 2 weeks, but it felt like forever. It felt like a year. Those who ever had insomnia, and I'm talking about chronic insomnia, not like, oh, I stayed up for 2 days to do some homework. And I'm talking about your brain won't fucking shut off. And I was just up and just hearing myself think. It was weird. But I started to cry in front of her. Those are two things you never want to do. Act like you can't get it if something's supposed to happen. Like if you're losing financially, don't make it seem like you can't get money. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't figure out a way. Like the hustle, the drive. This is why women say I like a man with ambition. I wasn't that nigga at the time. I was just being a bitch. I'm thinking like, oh, my shorty gonna hold it down. Nah. And then don't be overly emotional. I'm not saying don't be have emotions. Don't show like, oh, a little vulnerability here and there. But when you start being overly emotional, you start crying, ugh, that dries up women's coochie. But that, yeah, that's here no there. Okay, so around this time, give it around 5 months after my B day, she set her appointment, right? She set her appointment. And lo and behold, she didn't have enough money. Now I did at the time because, I didn't want to go back broke. So I saved my money and I had $1,000. Well, I had more than 1,000 in my savings, but she needed $1,000 for the deposit for her appointment. So the whole thing was 8 grand. And she needed 1,000 deposit so they could lock her in. So she called me and she was like, "Oh, babe, I'm stressed. I need $1,000 to put for the deposit." At first, she didn't want to say that amount. I was like, "Babe, I got you." Now, mind you, remember I told you I wasn't planning on paying for it. So I wasn't paying the whole 8 grand. I said, "Hey, listen, you're going to have to finesse and get the rest of the money, but I'm going to do my part and hold you down because I know you really want it." So I did what any good boyfriend would do. And I sent her $1,000 and she put it for the deposit. She said she'll pay me back, but I was like, "You don't got to worry about it. You my girl. I got you. Don't worry." So I'm skimming through it because I'm going to get to the juicy parts, right? So 2 weeks later, it's surgery time. She gets it done, and I had to take care of her. So prior to all of this, I had gotten insomnia again for some reason. I don't know, like I wasn't sleeping, so I was very tired. And I had to take care of her also when I was fucked up in the head. So me taking care of her while stressing about my own mental health was not going well. So I remember one time, right? I was laying in the bed with her and I was talking after her surgery, like maybe like 3 days post op, and she had to have the faja on and like she had to sleep on her stomach because she can't sleep on her back. And then I fucking started like talking to her about like some emotional shit. I can't even really remember, but I know I started crying again. And she's like, "Oh my God, like, why can't you just fucking go to sleep? Like, why is this so difficult for you?" When she said that to me, I got irritated. I hopped in the car and I drove to my mom's crib and I just slept on the couch. Like, that's the emotional bullshit I was going through for myself. This is why I said this relationship changed me forever because I'll never be like that again. Like, I'll never get overly emotional. Like, I always say this, cry when puppies die. As a man, don't cry because you have a fucking headache. You know what I'm saying? Cry if somebody passes away, and then after that, get the fuck over it. It sounds so toxic and weird, but it's true. And this, I proved this over and over again. Like you can't be like that in front of women. You have to be the rock. The moment you're like them, like an emotional tampon, they can't date themselves. Because at the end of the day, you don't want a masculine ass bitch. You don't, oh, nigga, bitch. You don't want that. So why the fuck you gonna be a bitch with another bitch? It don't make no fucking sense. But anyway, that was me. That was the side note. So anyway, I took care of her, and that was that. See, if you take care of, I would say for any woman who knows about getting their body done, BBL or whatever, if you take care of yourself during the process, you heal fairly quickly. Like you can't do extraneous shit and expect to heal right. You can't eat any food you want and expect your stomach to not get fucking fat again. You know what I'm saying? So she was on a strict diet and she did everything she was supposed to during the Faja. So this is how she looked. I can't show too much because this is YouTube. So that was us in Puerto Rico. Um, Her body was banging. I ain't gonna lie. Like stomach was flatter, ass was fatter, titties was perky, face was pretty clearly, and I was just doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, Now there's other stuff I want to show you, but like I said, this is YouTube, and I'm not even monetized yet. That's why you gotta like, subscribe, and share so I can get monetized. Um, the issue was I didn't realize the attention she was gonna get. You know, like me being with her, it's like, oh, this is my girl. She's not leaving. Trust me, nigga. At any given time, a woman can leave you for no goddamn reason. Because she betted on your future. She says, I think I can do better than him. And she'll leave. So I ain't gonna lie, I was having fun hitting that. Soon some other nigga would have fun hitting it too, right? She started going out wearing less more, like Drake said. Tighter dress, shorter skirts, higher heels. And I'm just like, my dumb ass not paying attention. I'm like, yo, I'm not an insecure boyfriend. She could go out. She can wear what she wants. I remember this. I don't have the picture and videos for this, but I remember her going out with her sister. And she has a sister, an older one. I think she has two. Doesn't matter. Um, but her sister don't have her body done, right? But she does. She's the younger sister, and she has some tight, wet white dress on. Mind you, she's got her body done, so her curves is like, ugh. High heels going out with her sister, just looking good. And my dumb ass not saying nothing. Shirt, skirt too. Tight dress and skirt is like, I ain't gonna front. The wind couldn't blow it how tight it was, but if she was supposed to bend over, you see nothing but coochie and butt cheeks. And I didn't say nothing because I'm like, this is my girl. She's not going nowhere. Soon, the streets would call and the bitch would answer. So eventually it caught up to me, right? So um me taking her to Puerto Rico, as you've seen in the videos prior, um, everything was going smoothly when we touched down, right? So I ended up booking a trip for her. People said you spent too much. I think I spent like $3 grand total on the trip for the flights and everything because I kind of booked it late. Sidebar: I was waiting for my passport to get expedited, but it took longer than usual because we were supposed to go to Jamaica. We didn't get to go to Jamaica because I got my passport late. So unfortunately, I said, hey, listen, we could do different stuff. Where do you want to go? We have to just stay inside the U.S. because I didn't get my passport. I said, Florida, or what? We want to go, Virgin Islands, whatever. She said, we can go to Puerto Rico. I said, deal. Booked the trip for our flights, round trip. I spent like maybe 1,200, 1,300. And then the hotel for about 5 days. I think I spent like 800. I'm just rounding it. And then like miscellaneous shit when we was out there. And I then bought her a couple of outfits to go out. But yeah, it was cool. Now we did have an argument when I did get to Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, I was telling her I was tired because we did go out. We went to some fucking club, but then I was tired. I was getting tired, and I went to rest. So the next day we had stuff planned, and she got upset because she still wanted to stay out. So she gave me a little attitude. She was like, "Oh, what you afraid you're gonna get insomnia again?" Like she bringing it up, knowing that at that time me having insomnia wasn't a good feeling, and she bring it up to try to hurt me and try to, try to finesse, try to gaslight me into fucking going out. And I ignored her, right? So I remember when we got back to the hotel, we was arguing a little bit. She still persisted on going out, and I was like, you know what, I'm out. And I went to CVS to cool down, and I got me. I think I went to go get apple juice and some snacks. As I came back to the room, I heard through the door her on the phone with her gorilla ass friend in the video. Remember the video I showed you with the gorilla fat bitch? That bitch. Yeah, she was on the phone talking about me. You know what I'm saying? And um, I was a little upset, but at the same time, I was like, whatever. Um, Now we argued for about 10 minutes, and I said I need to sleep. I just said, yeah, I need to close my eyes for a little bit. I need to, just recuperate. Like, damn, I'm tired, bitch. And then can't be tired. Like, you act like I'm a fucking robot. She didn't want to hear it, and she persisted on going out by herself, and she did. She went out, Puerto Rico, mind you, this is not her hometown, and she left at maybe 1 o'clock. And she didn't get home till, well, I said home, but back to the hotel till like 3:30 in the morning, damn near 4. I was still upset. I couldn't sleep knowing she was out there. I didn't want nothing to happen to her and all this other shit. So the next morning, we kind of had an attitude with each other. We wasn't saying anything, but we ended up fixing it, right? So we went out to have breakfast at some nice little rooftop barish. I don't know what the fucking call it, but the food was phenomenal. I enjoyed myself with her. Um, and we kind of fixed the little argument that we got into. So I did plan later that night to take her to dinner, which I did, and she enjoyed it. It was like a 5-star restaurant in Puerto Rico, um, and she loved the food. She actually cried in one of the videos, saying that nobody ever did nothing to something like this for her, and she said it was very special. Do I believe her? No. At the same time, fuck it, I'm taking credit for it. And this is how we looked when we went out. And I can't lie, she looks great. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying the bitch looked better than me, but clearly I was attracted to her. Body nice, body's T. Clearly she got, BBL, and that was pretty much the vibe for the whole Puerto Rico trip. Um, and the main thing coming back was I was basically telling her too. I'm like, yo, the COVID money is supposed to drop soon. Like they're gonna stop the extra money. Start your business. So I'm telling her, I'm like, yo, I don't want you to go back and work a 9 to 5 because I was trying to get our YouTube channel popping, like because we did have a YouTube channel. And one of the videos we did, it was doing numbers. Like it's weird. We interviewed prostitutes. Like, yeah, believe it or not, because I live in Brooklyn. I ain't gonna say exactly where. But if you know where the prostitutes at in Brooklyn. And you know, that went viral at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to get the YouTube videos out the ground. Now a real nigga gotta do it by himself. Anyway, that's besides the point. So when I was telling all of that, she wasn't really listening to what I was saying. She was probably thinking like, yeah, whatever, nigga. And what I started to notice was after her body got done, and even though I took it to Puerto Rico and I was getting back to the grind of things, she was slowly leaving mentally. There would be, I remember when I got back from Puerto Rico and I was stressing the fact like, yo, you know, we just got back. Why do you want to go out again? Just chill. I'm not saying I was jealous because I had to go to work, but I'm like, Dave, I want to come home to you after work and just, chill. We can watch TV, watch a show or something like that, get some food, but you always want to go out. It was literally day after day after day. She's like, oh, my friend bought us tickets for us to go somewhere. I'm going out with her. One of her friends was named Morgan. Oh, I'm going out with Damo here. I'm just like, damn. So that being said, I'm going to leave it here because part 2, I'm going to go in detail on what exactly went the fuck wrong. I'm talking about this was type of shit where it's like, damn, Zach, and you still wanted to go back to her? Like, when I say this relationship changed me forever, it really did. It made me look at myself like, if it was possible for me to like pull myself out of myself and show myself in third person, like, look what the fuck you're doing before it's too late, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't do it because it made me who I am today. It gave me a different mindset to know, like, Zach, you can't do that ever again. And sometimes this happens for men later than sooner. Like this happened to me when I was 28. Don't get me wrong, I had a toxic relationship before that. My ex-wife was toxic as fuck. That happened to me when I was like 24 to 26. That was just matter of fact, I was with her for a long time. I was with her for 5 years. So you can say anywhere from 23ish, 22. I'm lying. 22 to 27, I was with my ex-wife. That was toxic. But this one where I said, I was blindsided because my ex-wife, I seen that shit coming. Like I kept going back to her after she cheated. This one, I would have never expected it because I ignored all the signs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave this here and part 2 is going to drop soon. I'm just going to leave y'all with this. Me not understanding female nature, boy, did that slap me in the face in part 2.